All right, welcome everybody to a special Star City Blood Bowl League Season 8 edition. It's a playoff preview where we have 8 teams narrowed down to the playoffs. I have the committee with me. So welcome to the show, Mark, for the first time, and then welcome to the show, Fluffy, and then welcome back, Alex. So lucky for us, we were all successful in making the playoffs, so we'll have a lot to say about our own teams. Um, but we also have 4 other league participants who are also in the playoffs, who are going to be looking to take down some of the committee members and kick them out of the playoffs. So, kind of jumping into this, so the 8 teams that we have that have made the playoffs, we have the New River Nightcrawlers, the Talabine Valley Titans, the Blackwater Prowlers, the Malice Powboys, the Southeast Purple Haze, the Thunder Mountain Rampage, the Northeast Reapers, and the Passing Pathogens. And so, looking at how that actually ended up shaping up, our number 1 seed in the playoffs is the Talabine Valley Titans. Number 2 seed was the Southeast Purple Haze. Number 3 seed is the, I believe, Passing Pathogens. Is that how that ended up? Let's go here. I'll check it out on a document. Let me look here. I'm going to pull it up. So the number 3 seed ended up being the Passing Pathogens with 14 points. Then it was the number 4 seed was the Powboys, and that got edged out. No, the Powboys were the number 3 seed. Then it's the Passing Pathogens. Then it is the Blackwater Prowlers, followed by the Northeast Reapers. Then back to the New River Nightcrawlers, and then lastly is the Thunder Mountain Rampage. So looking at how this is shaping up, the first matchup, which I thought, I guess, first thing that was interesting was the looking at the fixtures coming up. And I'm going to shrink everybody down just a hair to get them out of the way of the screen. There we go. There we go. Um, I thought it was interesting that I think everybody plays inter division matchups throughout the playoffs this first round. That we don't have any cross division matchups. So it's almost like the fact we allowed it to be ranked through 8 didn't actually make a difference. It's still going to be. Now I do think. Now correct me if I'm wrong. Once the Talabine Valley Titans and the Thunder Mountain Rampage, the winner of that match will then play the winner of the Passing Pathogens and Blackwater Prowlers. Correct? Because the 3 seed is Braylith and Alex. So that's how the bracket, I guess, kind of works out. Um, and then the winner of the Southeast Purple Haze and Nightcrawlers will then go on to play the winner of the Powboys and the Reapers. So it ends up being, or I'm sorry, yeah, the Powboys and the Reapers. I said that right. So it is like a division championship still, even though we mixed them up. Yeah, I wonder. I could probably even bring up like a. You could probably even just see how this would look out. And I'll get a prettier document put together. I got to make everybody's helmet again that didn't have a helmet from last year. Um, yeah, as if we're doing it live. We could. I could make them live, but yeah. All right, so kind of diving into this. Um, I don't know which matchup you guys want to start from the top or you want to start from the bottom. Um, let's start from let's just start at the top here. So the Talabine Valley Titans, Fluff, this is your team against the Thunder Mountain Rampage, which is Mark's team. So humans against dwarves. We'll pull this one up. Looking at these 2 teams, right now, it looks like there's a team value difference of 135. There's some money in the bank for Fluff still. There's some money for Mark. Um, Right now, it shows the Titans as second, which it doesn't make any sense. Neither does Mark at sixth. But um, Fluff, you ended your season with a draw. Who did you draw against? I can't remember. Oh, against Mark. Okay. I don't remember. And then, Mark, you had a loss here. Who was your loss against? Was that Maurice? Pidcock. Okay. So another playoff contender. So, looking at your guys' offense, Fluff scores about 1.9 touchdowns per game. Mark, you score about 1.4 touchdowns per game. You're both playing identical defense at a score of 3.1. I don't know what that means, but 3.1. I don't know how they score that. Brutality, I don't know what that means really either or how it's calculated, but Mark, you're injuring more people at a 3.8 versus Fluff's 2.6. Fluff still is doing a good job of injuring people. As far as resistance goes, of course, this goes to the dwarves slightly. You have been getting hurt though. You're not at like a 4. So 2.7 versus 2.2. Neither of you foul pretty much at all. Um, I think you will take one occasionally, but it's like less than a half a foul per game. And then right now, Fluff, you are the number 5 ranked human coach in the United States via tour play. And Mark, you're the 17th ranked coach. Both of you, because of your draw, fell a spot, hurt each other um, lately. So now it does look like Fluff, you've got a little bit more experience with humans. Obviously, you're sitting at an 804 score. Mark, you're sitting at 688. So pretty close, but uh, might come into account. So I guess is there anything you guys want to talk about on this page right now? Okay. I mean, all right. So looking at your guys' rosters, so Roland Strobel, so your star thrower Fluff is out for the game. He's going to be riding the bench. Little John is also out, but he has no skills, so he's not really important. Um, right. So Albert Rothman's in. So Albert Rothman's been a casualty machine. He's got tackle, mighty blow, guard, and 8 movement, which is war dancer movement. Little less agile, but still something that is going to outpace you by double most of your guys. Um, yes, yeah. So, right, yeah. So his returning team, he's got a lot more skills. He does have 3 mighty blow, which might be enough to work through some armor 10 plus. He doesn't have as many skills as some returning teams do. I guess you've had some deaths, Fluff. Uh, yeah. Yeah, Gonzalo. Rip. Okay. Well, I guess kind of that's looking at your team. I'll get rid of that. You got three rerolls, six dedicated fans, an apothecary, 145K in treasury. Um, you're on a bit of a win streak, I think. I think your last loss was. Oh, looky there. Maybe let's go back to 7 months ago. That was then you had a zero. Oh yeah, so that was the last loss there. Um, yeah, after playoffs, you haven't lost this year. So that you're like the South Carolina women's basketball of Blood Bowl. Women's basketball. You haven't lost since the last championship. All right, so looking at Mark's team, so Mark's got a lot of skilled up players. I mean, he's got a skill on every player he has. Um, I don't think you're that far behind skill wise. I really don't. Five guard. Um, you got five mighty blow. Do you have five? Yeah, five mighty blow, five guard. You do have a fumble Ruski dwarf runner, and that was a chosen skill. Why? He chose fumble Ruski. How good it is. Yeah. I hope it wins the game for me. Well, maybe I didn't ever think anyone would take it on dwarves, but I guess it. Well, I think it would be. I think it's good if you're dropping the ball off to then pick it up with a dwarf runner, right? Because you got sure hands versus if you hand it off to him, it's a 3+ catch with no reroll. The Fumblerooski, right? Or no, that is what Fumblerooski is, right? You put it down on purpose. Yeah. With the other dwarf runner even, which has sure hands, so it's a 3+ rerollable versus 3+ no rerolls to hand off to him. But yeah, I guess with the blitz is good. I gotcha. Okay. So 135K in inducements for Fluff right now, if you didn't buy anything, right? What could you get? So you would get Cindy. You can if you're the lower team value team. You can't spend petty cash. You can't spend your cash to up yourself. No, no, not anymore. That's kind of our. That kind of just was one of those like. Although we do have Highlander in, so like the only time I guess it would be good would be like if you got Morg and you were facing, say, a Sylvanian Spotlight team that couldn't hire him back to cancel him out. Right. Right. Yeah, so Fluff could take Cindy. That's obviously probably the best, but it's, high risk, high reward kind of guy. Well, he can't spend petty. Yeah, I mean, I think the thing that maybe makes a big difference here is you only have 11 players right now. If you took Cindy, you'd have 11 plus Cindy. So if you start with Cindy and you're probably going to lose her plus lose somebody else, you're probably going to be playing down most of the game with less guys again. Now, the only thing about the ogre though is the dauntless will cancel that out, right? I mean, he'll just put a troll slayer up there, and I guess it's a 3 plus to roll dauntless to then get a 1 die on it. And but he's got enough guard. He may not even need the dauntless to just punch the ogre down. I mean, he doesn't have block. He may just 2 die uphill him too. You know what I mean? Just to keep him on the ground. I think it would be different if he didn't have so much guard. If he didn't have so much guard, I could see him not, you know, and that the ogre would be worth it because you'd be tying up like say 2 or 3 dwarves constantly. But I don't know if you are now with him having 5 guard or whatever. Unless you put all your guard around your ogre too and try and cancel all his out. Well, he's got 4 guard. He's yeah, he's all of his blitzers have guard. Every one of them. Yeah. Yeah. I think the perk of the ogre is obviously you just need 1 guard and then you could probably punch a guard dwarf, which then gets him out of the way. Um, Now you don't have block. The other thing you could consider is taking 2 human linemen and then something like a mascot or your weather mage or whatever you're obsessed with. But I think a mascot would probably be better. Because then you have uh, 13 players. Your ogre's still on the bench for the next game that you don't have to buy. Um, and it gives you a little bit more cushion, I guess. Anyways, you got some decisions, I guess. Right. And then are you buying anything with your money? You got 11 guys. You don't want a 12th dwarf? I guess you don't want to give him more money.
inducements for himself.
Well, you can't spend that money now because you're the overdog. You would.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Spend my treasury money.
Oh, yeah.
Hmm.
Is three? It's a 3+. It's a three, I think.
And that's a decision I'm going to make probably closer to game time.
Oh, their strength. Okay, right.
Well, that would require me spending all of my money and then giving it to you, basically.
I mean, you could take Griff.
I can't take Griff. I can't spend my treasury on him. Remember?
Oh, on star. Yeah, that's right.
So
You can
I'm
spend it
pretty
on
much allocating star
non-stars.
player. I've got to figure out something along.
What about a Death Roller mercenary with
With
sneaky get? Okay, you can't
sneaky
get
get.
secondaries on them, right? You can't. But you can't get sneaky get. You can't get a secondary, right, on a mercenary. Yeah.
Oh well, that's
You could piling on. Oh, you could pile on. You could
with
just give him
with the with,
give him a piling on. The pile driver. That's what it is.
the
Pile
pile
driver.
driver.
Right. You block on a 3 die. If you
And then
don't knock
slap
him,
him down.
if you knock him down, if you don't break it on the mighty blow
Foul him.
+1, you foul him with the dirty player +2.
I know. Plus, like seriously, I just need to shut up. Oh.
Carry Colts. A bribe. Bribe. Yeah. Maybe 235, right? To 235. You could take. Yeah, I wouldn't take Rumbelow probably. So I don't think that would be too dangerous. I don't think you want to give him 235. That's too many, I think. Because then you could take Zug. Because Zug's a block ogre with Mighty Blow. You know what I mean? I would take Zug. You could take. I wouldn't take Grombrindle. Yeah. Yeah, but the hard part is now it's a turnover too. You knock yourself down. So you can't do it first. It's the last thing you do, so maybe you don't even get to do it. That's the risky part.
And accurate's only good for quick and short
Right.
passes.
Don't roll a one twice. Right? It's don't roll a one twice, right? Because she's got pass. Uh,
She doesn't have pass.
oh. Well, she sucks
Yeah, I know. I had her twice this
compared to
year.
Bomber. Bomber's so much better. I thought they were identical, just with a different skin. Right. Okay.
We can get Cindy.
I guess prediction wise, So if it goes into a draw like it did last time, you guys are going to go into sudden death, which means that
Yes.
you would be playing fluff with three dudes against however many Mark had at that time for
I think I
another
was like
eight
eight or
turns.
nine at that
Yeah.
time. We have a historical record that shows that when these two teams are healthy, um, it's an even game with Mark pulling ahead and with more turns into a win. So with Fluff as beaten up, we can just say, okay, it is likely that Mark will pull a win here. Will it be easy? I don't think so. It's still going to be very difficult for both sides. It's
Yeah.
going to be very close up until, a turn 14, 15, 16, in the game. And then from that point, it's going to be who is willing to risk it more.
Risk it for the biscuit.
Because I mean, it's a one and done deal. If you're gonna risk it, and then if you absolutely die in the scope of it, I mean, so be it.
I
We're gonna see we're gonna get people more than a couple one dies this game.
yeah.
With bar no weird nonsense. We're gonna see like 5 plus dodge, 4 plus dodge, 3 plus dodge out, hit a one die on a ball carrier stuff. Just because both of these teams, one saying like he's gonna try to stay away from it. You're gonna constantly every other turn, you're gonna be back at another like 6 players on 6 players scenario
Yeah.
every single time.
I guess Mark, who you picking?
Man, that was a rough game with me as our regular season game. I think that with Fluffy as kind of beat up as he is, and he's lost several of his key, skilled up players, he was easy. It was quick for him to score on me. So I think I can outlast him in the long run, which I think that's where it's going to have to go. And I think it's going to be a 3-2 game.
3-2.
Yeah,
You're gonna score three times with dwarves?
I'm gonna have to because he can score easily on me,
Yeah.
and he proved that in the first half by scoring 2 touchdowns on me, and I had to claw my way back by injuring players, taking them off the pitch just to get my 2 scores.
Yeah. Well, so I was gonna go. It kind of makes sense because I was gonna guess it was gonna be 2-1 with Fluff winning. Fluff's gonna be hurt. You'll probably lose your next one, but if you win, you're gonna lose your next one. Yeah. But I think 2-1. I'm gonna go Fluff winning this one, only because I know he can score fast with that offense, and I think. But I mean, like you said, you can come back when there's not many people. You can be surprised how quick you can score, even with dwarves when there's nobody in your way. Yeah, I mean, nobody in your way. So you can two turn still. All right, Fluff, who you picking? Hmm. Okay. What do you think? Two. What? What's your score? What's your score guess? 3-2. All right, Alex. What's
I'm
your
gonna go
prediction?
6-0 in Mark's favor. I think this is going to be a 3-2 game with the third touchdown scored for Mark in overtime. I think he's gonna I think he's gonna score a very late overtime touchdown and just grind it out.
What'd you say? 3-2.
Yeah, 3-2. It's gonna
Three
be
two.
2-2 in terms
I'm
of
really mad nobody has like a Lee Corso helmet of like a dwarf and they're like, "Grr, that's who I'm picking, like a dwarf head." Uh, all right. All right. So that's get that game. We went into that one pretty heavy. So next one, Malice Powboys, Roland's team, the Orcs against the Northeast Reapers. Um, you guys, looks like Alex, you're sitting on about
I have it under control.
120K, 120K inducements right now. Um, You're scoring. You guys are offensively pretty much the same, 1.4 versus 1.2 touchdowns per game. Defensively, pretty much the same, 3.3 versus 3.2, whatever that means. Um, brutality, both doing awesome brutality wise. He's hurting a little bit more players than you are. And then, but probably that was boosted by playing me that last round. And then resistance wise, both of you are resisting getting hurt too bad. And then dirty player wise, you're twice as likely to foul as him during the match, or you'll put up twice as many fouls, whether that's 2 to 1 or 1 to none or whatever. But I do know he fouls. Um, so Roland is the 11th ranked orc in the United States on tour play. And Fluff, Alex, you are the 16th rank undead in the United States via tour play. Wow. Out of 16, probably. Who knows how many people it is? Out of 16 players. All right. So looking at the Cowboys, I know this team from recently. It's a lot like Mark's team. There's a lot of 1 and 2 skill guys. Not anybody has too many skills. Grack Rimshot has leader block on the ball, which is a really good thrower. Um, he's got a big one, which is block mighty blow guard. Um, but essentially, he's able to avoid turnovers via both downs, pretty much. He's covered himself with block on just about everybody. Um, and then he's got enough guard to make his strength fours, pretty strong. 3 rerolls, 265. Like I said, right now he's the overdog at 1530, sitting at 12 players. So, looking at your team, Alex, right now you're fully healthy, which is good going in the playoffs. You have Eleanor Geislerg, which is congratulations on having, I think, the most casualties in any season by a single player of any Star City Blood Bowl league.
Mm-hmm.
So 13. I can't remember what the record was. I could look it
12
up.
before.
12. So yeah,
I
just
think
one
that
more.
those was Bob's Yeti he had with his Norton.
I tied it with a Croxagore who then died in the playoffs.
Yes.
That's right, right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. I added a tombstone emoji to that there since I think he's the only record holder we've ever had that's actually like passed away.
Heart attack at the end of the
That's
game.
Yeah.
right.
I'm hoping someone else does. It would be good
Oh,
to get that
He was
list out there.
celebrating too much the night before that game, took it all out.
Yep.
I love the name Chode.
So all your upgrades are done. You don't have anybody left to upgrade. Um, you're sitting at 12 players. Yeah, 12 players as well. 3 rerolls.
Half
You
your
got
team
an
gold.
ass load of money. Um,
Yeah, don't worry about that. Ooh, I'm never spend enough.
maybe they'll come out with Ram Tut before your match, and then you
There
could
you
give
go.
Ram Tut.
Don't do that to me.
And then you could have a Strength 5 or a Strength 6 mummy
Oof.
with a Wrestle out there. He's got Wrestle.
Oh,
What does he have? Wrestle, Break Tackle,
Still can't buy him.
Strength 6. But yeah,
Just wouldn't be able to afford him.
yeah. Well, he was only like 260 before.
260.
Right. Yeah.
I don't even have two.
Yeah. So I guess with your inducements, what did I say? You get 120. You can't afford Bryce. I'm assuming you're not taking Acorn. You could take a dirty player zombie, which might be worth it.
Wizard.
Frankelheim is fun. I don't know if you need him.
I'm not fond of being accurate wizard.
The only thing that sucks about Frankelheim is he only helps you. Like, there's a risk your guys don't play next game
Ooh.
at the
Yeah,
end of the
yeah,
match.
yeah.
Like, you get claws for the match, but then if you roll a 1, then he missed next games. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You could, if you did the player agent, he gives pro to like
Three
3 guys
players.
or something. Yeah. So what are you gonna take, Alex?
Just mercenary.
Mercenary.
Just extra bench. Doesn't even need a skill. Just mercenary. And then 50k for
Keg?
keg. Yep.
Yeah.
Just keeps wearing
I could see that.
I mean, remember, you're undead. You're surviving through lots of regeneration. The thing that hurts undead the most is when you get knocked out and never come back.
Yeah. So I,
And you can,
I didn't remember. Did he have a lot of tackle? I don't think he does. He's got one tackler,
All of that Blizzard, yeah.
two tackles. So he's got two tacklers.
Both
Um,
Blizzards out, yeah.
I know that you're I don't even know Andebert Bosch.
you
Um,
can just guess at the names. They're basically random.
yeah, Andebert Bosch here. I know he's got Blodge. He just got break tackle, which is good. He's a 2+ Dodger, rerollable now, which is good. Um,
His other runners got blocked also.
yeah. And, from playing Roland recently, I know he's very good at putting his tackle pieces on your dodge pieces you know, if he can.
Yeah, I'd say if he can get them moving to all four through seven watchers,
Yeah. I
kind of the
Yeah.
shambling
Now
puzzle.
his tackle guys are movement six, so they're not
right.
slow.
Right. They're not
His are three
slow.
move six versus four move seven.
Yeah. I don't think he's got any skill ups to do. Oh, he does have one. Oh no, that's a random.
The real worry I have is just
Randoms.
a bunch of
He got a bunch
block
of
guard
randoms he could
biggins.
take.
That's the problem.
What are you worried about?
It's just a lot of block guard biggins.
Yeah.
It, it's not just like a simple thing of just like you know avoid them because if you space out biggins in a way, they're going to have to blitz a biggin at some point, and that becomes a difficult task.
Yeah.
Other than a mummy.
Well, and the thing that I struggled with was, I knock them down, but then I'm like, well, I don't really want to stand beside them. But then they could just get up and move 2 squares and they're right on top of you anyway again. So it's kind of like you can't really get away from them and they're fast enough to just get up and stay with you. So,
Just 5 of them is brutal.
yeah. I guess looking at this game, assuming Alex takes a mercenary and a keg, so he'll have 13 players. So he does have two bench. He's got a keg to try and keep some dudes in. Um, both your blitzers have guard. Both your mummies have guard, but they don't have block. I think it's gonna be tough, man. I think Alex, I think it's gonna be tough
Oh,
for you.
I'm losing this. There ain't no way I'm winning this. I'd have to just kill his biggins. If I kill his biggins, I win. If I don't, it's going to be the longest game of my life.
I mean, one of them's got 9+ armor.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit the shit out of that guy.
Yeah. Where's Zagrot? Um, Gorok the Git Smasher. All right, so prediction wise, Mark, you get to go first again.
Ah, man, this is a tough one. I think in the long run, the orcs have the sustainability to weather an attack, especially when the mummies don't have any block or such with them. I think this is a 2-1 game to the orcs. Sorry, Alex.
Oh no, that's fine. Like, because even with mummies being non-loner, it just doesn't matter with like that much block guard.
Right. I think that those strength four big ones in the middle, it's going to be tough, especially that with that Morgor with Mighty Blow also.
Yeah. When I don't know. I guess my prediction was I think Alex, I think you could pull this off. I
Yeah, I
think
think you have
that
a chance.
you're fast enough to make it happen. I think Roland gets really obviously very orc pal hungry, and I think he can tend to overcommit to one side or overcommit too many resources, and it's not too hard for ghouls to do some little, 3+ handoff and take off
Yes.
7 spaces away. You know what I mean? And then you're gone. I mean, I kind of did it with my vampires when it scored once, almost scored twice, through just like, I don't know if Roland quite predicts a handoff and pass as well yet. So it's still an option. If he's not playing or thinking about, well, could he throw a cheeky three, 3+
Cheeky.
handoff and go 7 squares.
How cheeky is that?
little
That's
little cheeky 3+ handoff, and then boom, you're gone 9 spaces away. You know what I mean?
I
Like,
didn't know I was doing this with Ben.
on Greaves, my sidestep rule. I wanted sidestep so bad. I just couldn't get
Yeah. I don't think he didn't have any frenzy. So I'm gonna say you can pull this one off.
He has zero frenzy.
I don't
He's
I
got no
He's
frenzy.
got no frenzy.
Oh, I'm gonna just run the sideline all day.
Yeah, you could mummy up and run the sidelines or something
Yeah,
like that.
that's what I'm
Um,
thinking.
I'm gonna give this one to the Reapers. I'm gonna say it's gonna be 2-1. All right, Fluff.
I'm also going to say Reapers 2-1. I think when the scrum happens, the zombies and stuff are just going to tie people up and hopefully just let them die. And
Mhm.
then having the four ghouls and only two tackle, there's always going to be two ghouls available. And now with that break tackle ghoul that can do 2+ nonsense when it's not in a tackle zone, I think the scrum happens and then the ghouls break free and go and they just can't get back up. So yeah, I think Reapers 2-1. But I do think it's going to be a fight in the center for most of the game. It's not going to be a long game.
Yeah, and you do have Joe Roberts, Alex. So that's my thrall.
Joe
So I
Roberts.
gotta.
Where did prime rib come from? Whose was that?
He's starting to
That's
find
gotta
out.
be Shad's.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, the
Yeah,
corned beef.
right.
yeah. Prime rib is I
Sh-
killed it hardcore.
Shad's
That
corn
was
guard.
Shad's guy.
All right, Alex. You think
I think Roland takes it 2-1 in an extremely long game. You know, just extremely
Extremely long for you.
24 turns?
exactly 1-1 going into turns. And the other alternate universe is I kill that 9+ armor biggin with a an 8+ break for them to kill the mummy, and then I kill everything else, and then I score like 4 touchdowns, and you have to miss.
I mean, you also might get like officious ref, or it might even come down to who receives
Yeah,
in
depends on
extra
how big
time.
you
Yeah,
you're bigging off.
my block guard mighty blow biggin gets kicked out with officious ref on turn 0. Yeah, great.
And I was like, and he was already missing a biggin, so he started to give him 2 biggins, and I was like, okay, and I just jumped over him and scored.
Yeah, perfect. Um,
Yeah,
all right, so that's that game right there. So I think it was 50-50 split
Yeah.
between who's
Yeah,
going to win that
everybody was
one.
2-1 on the.
All right, next up, one that we're not involved in at all, which is the passing pathogens and the Blackwater Prowlers. Um, the passing pathogens had to cut down to 17
Had to
below
trim
1750 team value,
that team value.
which they were not super happy about. And because I think they were close to 2 million,
They were.
I think. Um,
They were.
and then the Prowlers have 1475. So what is that?
I
That
think
is
that's very dangerous giving the
oh
Prowlers
can't
that
the
much
Prowlers
inducements.
just go hire Wilhelm now? I think so. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I think we can go hire Wilhelm. That's game.
That's game.
220K.
Yeah. So looking at these two teams,
Yeah.
he's got money. Um, Passing pathogens have a little bit better offense, but they're pretty much the same, around 2 touchdowns per game. Um, Prowlers are resisting getting hurt a little bit more. Brutality, the Prowlers are hurting more things, which is bad for rats. Um, Resistance wise, like I said, avoiding injury, Prowlers, neither of them foul. Now, the Pathogens are on a 4 game winning streak, whereas the Prowlers dropped their last game to the
The
Stinky
Skinks.
Skinks, which was
Fun
not
game.
the most successful team this season.
They came on in the last part of it.
Right. So we're back at it. So looking at this, I thought Wilhelm was 240
No, he's
or
220.
220. Okay. So he's probably taking Wilhelm if he's
Wise.
wise, right? Wilhelm's got claws, which doesn't mean a ton. Wrestle, frenzy, he's got catch, so he's essentially a third werewolf, added speed. So looking at the prowlers,
Strength 4 helps a lot too. Strength 4.
yeah, strength 4 werewolf, yeah, which is big.
That's
He
huge.
does have Lucian von Wigglebutt, which is a blodge strip ball tackler. He's got another blodge werewolf. Um, Flesh golems are doing just fine, both with block, mighty blow, guard. This team was or is my predicted winner of the playoffs.
Same.
until the stinky skink loss. And then I don't know if I felt as confident after that. But, the dirty player ghoul, that's not super great of a random. Kind of sucks for them. But um, I probably would have randomed out of agility rather than general instead of just one ghoul. Um, so 12 players, one ghoul. He's got the money to hire a second ghoul, but then that gets rid of Wilhelm potential.
And that's 225,000 in inducements he's getting.
Right. Uh, Chlamydia has retired, temporarily retired because I don't know.
What?
Just a clan rat. I think it was to cut team value. He
Oh,
retired a player just to get him
Tweeted
off the.
retire them.
Yeah. Um, Wrestle. There's blodge. I mean, there's a lot of blodge and not a lot of. I don't remember tackle on. Is there tackle on the prowlers?
Yes, one.
yes.
One. One tackle on Wigglebutt.
Oh, no, there's two.
Oh, was there another one?
Bubonic or Bubonic, however you want to say it.
Yeah, it's only
Yeah,
one.
the prowlers.
Sorry, Prowlers, excuse me.
Yeah.
No, I don't believe so. There's just four man stats.
So there's three, four, five. No, just four blodgers. So all the gutter runners are blodgers. One of them is a strength three. Tetanus is a strength three gutter runner,
Yep.
which is very good. Still have Juggernaut Guard, Rat Ogre, who's going to be playing. Bubonic can take a random. It doesn't look like any other skill up. So Cloudburster on the thrower. What is that? You get to reroll an
That's
interception
like the old safe
If it's
safe
on the long
pass.
bomb, you
Yeah,
can force a reroll.
on an
it's called the
interception.
safe pass.
Yeah. So
Interception, but not the deflection.
yeah, that's bad. Or not good. All right. So looking
Defeats
at
would be
these
bad.
two teams, assuming that Prowlers take Wilhelm. Oh, I didn't mention. So the Maurice is the 16th rank Skaven in the United States, and Pidcock is the 24th ranked Necromantic Horror in the United States. Coach on tour play. On tour play.
Right on tour play.
Um, I guess prediction wise, we've been starting with Mark. Who do you think?
I think that Lucian von Wigglebutt, if he can get him in there, he can do some damage with that werewolf. That werewolf can having tackle can
Does he blitz with him pretty
yes.
much every turn?
Uh,
Not every
no,
turn, I
not
guess.
every turn, but
A
that's his
lot.
scoring machine right there too. He's
Yeah,
also got
11 touchdowns, 5 casualties.
but
So
I think if he uses him in a blitz fashion against some of those gutter runners, he's going to be able to negate that dodge and use it as a beefing his odds of knocking it down from a 1 in 6 chance to a 1 in 3 chance, and that's going to be key to getting rid of those gutter runners. I think the Prowlers will win this 2-1.
2-1.
Yep.
What's like the Skaven's typical score here?
The problem, the Skaven have had a rough
Three,
year. If you
three.
look at their deaths and injuries that have knocked guys out, they've been they've been tore up from the beginning. But he's had the money to buy them back, so he continually buys them back because they're not expensive.
So the last time these two teams played, the Pathogens won 2-0.
Correct.
It looks like the Pathogens win. They've won 3-0, 3-0, 3-0, 2-0. Then they lost 1-2 to Fluff. Then it was a 2-1 win. Oh, well,
That was a 2-0 loss to Pidcock. They had a
And
2-0 win against
I'm not.
right.
I think that he has the
Oh, lost to
capability.
Pidcock.
If you're
Yes, you're
reading the
right.
team page, there's
Yeah,
a
that's right.
2-0 loss for
So
Pidcock.
he's lost to Pidcock.
I think that the pathogens have the capability to do some fast scoring and scoring a lot,
Yeah,
but I think that the prowlers are a good matchup for them to prevent some of that too.
yeah. All right.
He's got to get those
Uh,
werewolves in there and get them doing their job.
yeah, I agree. I'm gonna go with the Prowlers. I'm gonna say 3-1. I think the Prowlers can score a bunch, and I think the Skaven will score. I mean, just because they'll two turn at some point or something like that. But I don't think they can score enough. Is my guess. I would think that probably what's going to happen is Skaven are going to just come right out of the gate, try for a quick two score, and end up losing the ball, and then it's going to be rough, like from the rest of the first half, and then maybe they get in later. But I'm gonna go 3-1 Prowlers. So Fluff, what do you think?
I think 3-2 Prowlers. Assuming Wilhelm is on the field, I really think the push goes the race. Everything's going to work all the rats off the pitch. I think with Wilhelm being strength four and having Russell, even with 30-player pool, like Russell, uh, the better runner down and then foul him, get him off the pitch, have number advantage, and then with the tackle, Wolf just going to be eating through gutters. I don't see Maurice beating him, but it's so hard to stop the rats scoring. I think 3-2
Right,
for Bowers.
Alex.
I think Maurice got this 3-1. I watched him score a touchdown with the Red Ogre in sevens yesterday.
I mean, I've watched him do a string of really miraculous rolls. I think I calculated it up one time. It was like a 0.02% chance of pulling that off, and Maurice is the guy who can do it.
And Maurice is not afraid to
I
take
don't
those
know if we've
chances.
checked his die. We've shared, but
I've used his dice. I've used his dice. They do not roll well for me.
yeah,
I set them right back. So in seriousness, I do think 3-1 in Maurice. The big one is just that right now Pitcock has three ball carriers. If he has Wilhelm, he has four. Wilhelm is a very good ball carrier for the most part. You know, the only bad part is as a ball carrier he has wrestle.
wrestle,
So
yeah, and frenzy. So
you know, Frenzies can actually be good as a ball carrier because it can get you out of tight spaces easier by throwing a blitz because you'll take a push and then you take, um, the block with the move on the second one and it gets you farther. But usually it's that.
but you
But
can't. But it's the with the wrestle and frenzy tied together. The frenzy's going to double
yes,
his chance of both downing.
exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just Pitcock has three rostered ball carriers, and I mean, just one of them being what is it? Sure hands plus dirty player on that ghoul. Like, I mean, that ghoul just dies. Okay,
hmm
you hit with tackle, that ghoul's dead.
Yeah, I don't imagine he's more like a safety and not so much like a
Correct.
ball carrier, really. I mean, he scored
Yes,
with him
we're carrying
twice, but
we're carrying on the wolves and
hmm
their blotchers, and it's just how long are you gonna hold out until somebody rolls either tackle, Fender stumbles pow, or just pows you,
Well,
right.
because
Lucian's a known scorer. He's got 11 touchdowns this season.
yeah,
Yeah,
he
he'll
he's
carry with Lucian if he can.
yeah, and that's what I'm saying. So like it's up to the werewolves, and as soon as one goes, then you're down to two rostered ball carriers, and then it's very tenuous. That's Necro's problem is that if you lose your ball carriers, it becomes very difficult to do anything.
Yep. All right. Well, there's that. So, three for the prowlers, one for the pathogens on that one. That was the first one we're not split on. Now everybody gets to pick Bob to win this one because he will. All right, so Southeast Purple Haze, New River Nightcrawlers. The Vampires have struggled their past couple matches. They started off really strong, but we're looking at. I don't even think I get this much, truly, because I think I get Journeyman. Oh no, I don't get Journeyman, so I will get some money, but it's not enough to make a difference in my opinion. But what do I get? 130k. 130,000 in inducements is what I'm sitting on right now.
You have the same
Um,
bonus inducements as I am.
yep. Looking at offensively, the Purple Haze have a little over two touchdowns scored per game. The Nightcrawlers at 1.7. Playing defensively, they're pretty much identical at preventing other teams from scoring. maybe a slight edge to the Nightcrawlers. Brutality wise, hurting players, exactly the same. Resistance wise, very poor for both of these teams. Poorer for the Nightcrawlers because we hurt ourselves as much as other people do. Um, Dirty player, Purple Haze commits almost 3 fouls per game, a little over 1 foul per game for the Nightcrawlers. Bob is a very established Underworld coach, fourth in the United States with Underworld via tour play. And then I am second in the United States in Vampires.
Seventh overall.
Second. Yeah, seventh overall out of probably 7 players who have ever played Vampires. There's probably not many. It's probably like 12 guys. You know what I mean? It's probably like 12 players.
Pretty. You also won rank overall as well. You went down one spot.
I know I went down. Yeah, so probably someone
But you
came
went up
in
in
and
the
just
United
played a
States.
game. Yeah, this is overall in the world. No, yeah.
Two lying dogs played a match, and the vampire player won.
Yes. Yes. All right. So looking at the New River Nightcrawlers, going to be missing Elizabeth Bathroyd, which is big. That was 210K team value that will be missing. Um, that was the block dodge, sidestep, pro, and guard vampire, which she was like my all egg in one basket kind of player, kind of like you know. I got
Captains. What did Roland do to you?
I think he fouled her. Oh, that's what it was. He fouled her. He killed her, and then I used the Apo and got miss next game, and I chose that, and then failed the regen.
No, I see here. We have Kaz from Drazar and then injury on Elizabeth.
Oh, okay, yeah,
But still, yeah, that's the one you had to Abo from dead.
yeah. I had to Apo from dead, so she did die, and I was like, well, this is gonna be bad. Um, so I'm only gonna have 2 pro block vampires, 1 block vampire that's busted up with a busted armor, and then a naked blitzer vampire. Um, I do have 2 wrestlers. Another one of my wrestlers is missing next game, but it's looking bleak across the board. Um,
Yeah.
my son got recruited to play. That's how desperate we are. My 7-year-old is playing.
You don't do that.
4 rerolls. Like I said, I'm at 12 guys right now. But inducement wise, what do we say? 130K. I mean,
Yeah,
There's not much you can get with
there's
that.
not much.
there's
Yeah,
so many to talk. Like just close that window, move on. Like
with
honestly,
stars.
funnily enough, you might consider hiring Acorn.
Acorn might not be bad against strength 2 ball carriers, right? I mean,
You know what Acorn also is? He's a move seven piece that you can run over and bite with a vampire.
yeah, but he'll die instantly.
Yeah, whatever.
No, you can't run and bite. It's not
No, you
bloodlust
move
anymore.
Acorn next to your vampire
Oh,
so he
yeah,
can.
and just bite him that way.
He's
Yeah.
twitchy, so when you need to get him somewhere, he's getting there.
True. Yeah.
He's a one plus dodger.
Yeah.
But anyway, I don't know. They're all pretty awful to even look at. I mean, like a wandering apo maybe. I wish
Weather mage. I will not take a weather mage. Shut up. That thing's terrible. All right, so looking at Bob's team, he's got a full healthy team. So sneak, scuttle, spike, flicks, lateral, nod, toe cutter, 3 wrestle line rats, even with kick, and then he's got a claws troll down here, which I think he vomited on me a bunch of times when we played before. He wasn't afraid to do that.
You won that game, correct?
I did win that game. That was I don't remember exactly what happened, but I hypno gazed, sneak, went up and blitzed him, knocked the ball out. I think I KO'd him, and then he just never woke up. and then I think maybe even I KO'd Flick's lateral or hurt him or something, badly hurt him, and then it was not so bad from there. Um, but I was pulling off a lot of hypno gazes to remove these guys' skills. That's the only thing I really got going for me would be
Mm-hmm.
go up and hypno gaze, remove 5 skills from a dude,
And then wreck him.
and then wreck them.
Now that guy, that the Skull Spike, or yeah, it's got 45 SPP he can spend.
Yeah, yeah, he could get a secondary. Um, I mean, what would you even take?
I think
Block,
he's
two hits,
trying to.
sidestep, monster. I think he's trying to get a stat
I think he's
upgrade.
trying to get a stat upgrade. And
Yeah,
he's how many points away? 5
5. Yeah,
SPP. So it won't happen
until after this
until
game, right?
after this game if it happens at all.
Right.
Very back down to moving.
Yeah, and then Flick's lateral. He's obviously he carried a lot with him. He blitzed a lot with Flick's lateral, which I was surprised
Now,
by.
both Skull Spike and Lateral are both returning players. If you notice, there's 48 completions with that.
Yeah, that's career
That's
though.
career. But
And then the same
48,
with
that's
37.
impressive.
Yeah,
37 touchdowns is impressive.
he's not passed nearly as much as he did the first season.
Mm-mm.
I think he vanity passed a lot more the first season. I don't think he did
Yeah.
that so much here. I mean, there is a line rat right there that might get hurt pretty easily. A 7+ armor. Um, Mighty blow tackle. Tackle's not going to be useful here anymore because I don't
There's
have
not a lot
any.
of wrestle on my team.
Well, all the rats have something, right? They're either going to have block or wrestle, and then he doesn't have a two heads. I think when I last played him, he had a two-headed goblin. Maybe he died or fired. Can't remember. Thought he had a two-headed goblin down here somewhere. Oh yeah, right there. Zoinkrot cackle stab. He had a
He
two.
must have fired him.
He must have. Well, he got a stat down. He got a armor stat down. So I mean, what do you do here? Do you buy anything else? He's at 14 players. Do you upgrade sneak at all? Do you take a well, you can't take a skill here, can't take a skill. So, do you upgrade sneak?
I would because this could be your last game.
Secondary. What would you take? You could
Um,
what do I have? I don't know if there's anything you really need against me. You could take a mutation though. So you could take foul appearance so that
they have a chance not
they
to
have a
get.
chance to avoid getting blitzed or hypnogazed.
What about big hand, where you could dodge into a scrum and pick the ball up without taking any negatives?
Maybe. What do you think, Fluff?
I was gonna say either sprint or sure feet. He needs to save rerolls from things. Sure
Yeah.
feet.
You just ditch
What
the
else he needs?
yeah, you would just save the rest of the SPP for
I guess you could take defensive. That way, no guard works against you on Alien Walker. But strength two is not really helping that much. Even strength three would be different.
right. I mean, you could just guard
I
him.
think this. I think as Bob, I think this is pretty favorable. That he's going to get the SPP he needs to get the stat increase.
Hmm.
If he
Unless
survives.
you break a lot of armor and just get big superiority, I think Bob's got this one, and he goes for the stat increase next game.
Yeah. I mean, that's what happened last time. I was able to, he's got a lot of snotlings. They swarm on. But then once they start coming off, you're left with half of a Skaven team,
But he does
right?
a lot of fouling with those.
Right.
That's key to him, is doing a lot of fouling with those.
Yeah. I mean, he could take like a what is it, a biased ref, but then that would give me
You should
more.
take a biased ref. You should take the biased ref and stop the fouling. Because you've got the inducement, right?
Yeah, I could take a an unbiased ref. I think they're 100. Are they 100 for me? Or
What does the unbiased ref do?
I roll a die after a foul on a 5 or 6. I think they're kicked off,
Oh, okay.
um, regardless if they were roll doubles or not. But I don't know if he cares a ton, really. You know what I mean? Maybe he does.
This might help keep you
Oh,
as
sorry, I forgot.
qualification.
It's clicked off because we have the named ones.
Yeah, you can take the unnamed ones.
Yeah, it
I
just
think he might be worth it with how many fouls Bob has thrown. I think if he doesn't, if it stops one or two fouls, it might help. But ultimately, if it ejects a couple of extra players, like you need to get up in a player count position to where your strength four vampires can really shine, even without your skilled up super vamp to have a chance at that. So really, I think the unbiased rep may actually help in this game.
fresh, and then look at the inducements. Yeah, right.
There you go. I was gonna say they are bias referees, so you can't take the named ones, but you could take the unnamed. 120, so I could afford it. Um,
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that might be a good one. Just turn off all fouls. And
yeah,
Well, doesn't turn off the foul, just makes it more risky for Bob. He's got the numbers to risk it to keep going, but it might
fair
be
enough. Yeah,
more
hmm
detrimental losing the players.
gotcha.
yeah,
Well, the big part of it is that Brandon gets to foul a ton, and um, he can't get his coach kicked out, and he has a 5+ to stay in.
right.
I think Brandon's key to winning this is using the hypno gaze. I think
Yeah, I
that's
need to pull off
huge.
those 4+2 pluses.
And keying those hypno gazes on those high value players such as Scuttle Spike and Flix Lateral and things of that sort.
Yeah. Well, I thought about
Yeah,
I got the block blitzer that's busted up. I thought about trying to random her if she got something good, keeping her. But if not, then
I think you might be in random territory, legitimately.
I got random here, random here, random
You got
here.
three randoms.
I could random 3 times, but then that kicks me out of the biased ref.
That does.
Yeah, but the problem is just like, I mean, what are you even randoming? Strength skills is not worth to random. I don't think. I legitimately don't think strength is ever worth to random.
No.
Yeah,
Like,
Brandon would
if
be
you're
honest
running
with watching.
agility for like spiking, dodge, catch, things like that, maybe sure. But
I'd rather end up with like strip ball, tackle, but I mean, then again, do you really need those things if you're going to go hypno gaze? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
and I would hope to maybe pull off a general pro here or something like that, you know.
yeah,
That would be lucky.
yeah. Well,
It'd be super lucky, but I don't. I don't think it's worth risking it for because I think the overall aesthetic of the ref will actually like help
Yeah.
more than a random skill.
Yeah, I
Like
mean, he could fire one of these snotlings to get rid of that. But I mean, then that's one less player.
But now you also got to
it
remember
ultimately works for you.
you're
Yeah,
looking at getting rid of the people he fouls with, which are the snotlings.
right.
So
Well, and he can't swarm as much then because he'd only have four.
the
Um,
the unfortunate problem against playing against the Underworld team is you have to kill Snotlings first, or else you're never ever gonna have any sort of pitch advantage ever.
right,
There's just gonna be all these idiots like when Bob and I played, we ended with a draw. I actually could have risked a little more and gone for the win, um, but the one turn touchdown was still on the table, so it just wasn't worth like risking something like that and risking injury. So I just took the draw, moved on.
hmm
But yeah, I mean, I worked on just killing Snotlings first, then kill the Goblin, okay, then killing Clan Rats. Just get all of this stunty nonsense out of the way, so that then it's just a bunch of strength, two players and a strength three player, and then a troll, you know. And when it's that stuff on the pitch, there's not a lot of like, I'm gonna dodge here and here. Like the blitzes become a lot more manageable. Granted, there's a
Too bad I don't have her.
small blitzer, which like very difficult to deal with. But
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess prediction wise, Mark, you're up.
I think you're missing your star vampire right now,
Oh yeah.
and that's very detrimental to your team.
it would be totally different. If I had her, I could actually see that I might be able to win it. But without her, I don't even think I could win
The
it.
key to your winning is the hypno gaze and thinning out the herd
Yeah.
of this snotlings. Can you do that? Maybe, but I think in the long run he ends up pulling out a 3-1 victory.
Yeah. I could see that. I could see that.
So 3-1 through the purple haze.
Yeah. I actually, I don't even know if I can score once. Probably I could try. I need to throw a teammate. I need a vampire lord. I don't think come out with that roster.
A good big
Um,
guy.
I I think it's gonna be 3-1. I could see that with the purple haze. I don't think it might have been closer with my star in there, but missing that game. Hell, I probably could have put down two other blitzers and put her in and felt better about my chances than. I mean, she was just like a one trick show. And then once I got pro and guard, it was like, what else do you need on someone like that?
Right,
So
right.
I'm gonna say 3-1 to Purple Haze as well. All right, Fluff, prediction time.
I think it's 2-1 Purple Haze. I think you do have the strength advantage.
Yeah.
I think you still do have four hypno gazers that can be a thorn in his side. I don't think he wants to score super quick just because that puts the ball back in your hands and things can happen, and that gives you more freaking easy hits to remove people. So I think Bob Slow plays it and still takes you 2-1.
Yeah, I did use my strength quite a bit in our match, to both muscle out his troll. Also, it was easy to keep three dies on snotlings and stuff like that when you're strength four. So,
So yeah, I think Bob takes it 2-1.
yep. Alex?
If I was playing Bob's team, not saying because I'm a better player, but because I would play it in a specific way, I would give it 5-1 in the underworld favor because there's no slaughter rule in playoffs.
Jeez.
So as soon as your team can't
Who
do
said there's
anything,
no slaughter rule in playoffs?
but Bob will only do 3-1 because he's not going to score extra and let hits exist on the line of scrimmage.
Oh, there's definitely slaughter rule in
He's
playoffs.
gonna. Is there?
Yeah.
Why do we have
Yeah.
slaughter rule in the playoffs? That's
It's just to cap star player points.
you're in the playoffs.
Yeah. No, it's still
Makes you
there.
earn another point.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's gonna be 3-1. Maybe he'll slaughter rule 4-1.
All right. Well, that is our playoffs. Um, I don't know if we really want to go through honors or just wait until the cookout.
Yeah,
Um,
we'll do that in the cookout.
yeah, do it at the cookout when we do our little or wherever we end up having it.
Yeah.
Um,
Are we doing
Are
honors
we
based?
honors for preseason and or from normal season to playoffs?
Right, that was my question.
yeah, it's only regular season. We've only done honors through regular season. So whoever's leading categories
Right now.
right now is who leads them. They may get more, and when I do the PowerPoint, I'll talk about like what they got in the regular season versus career. You know what I mean? But it's
The
based
awards
on
are
what they've
based off
got.
of regular season.
Regular season, everybody has the exact same chance to win those awards. Um, so yeah.
I wasn't sure if Tour Play like snapshotted it and was still update based on playoffs, or if you need to take like a physical snapshot before on.
No, I've already screenshotted everything that's in here, so all that's good. If you guys want to know, spoiler, Gerald did get best stunty team this
Only
season.
stunty team.
So I am gonna spoil that one for you. But people can go in there and look at it if you really care. But wait on the thing. I will put out a nice pretty bracket like I normally do. That way people can follow along. I thought about doing like a bracket pool, where we like give 1 point for this round, like 3 points for the next, and five for getting the champion right. And like everybody pitch in $5 or something like that if you want to play in a bracket pool, and then like we'll just give all the money to whoever scores the most points. Um, but it would take a little bit of, I don't know who's interested in doing that, but we could do that. Um, Playoffs could start as early as tomorrow, I guess, really, if people wanted to. So I guess any kind of bracket pool or anything like that will kind of come on who gets their games in.
It's got to be people not in the playoffs.
Yeah, well, I mean, we could predict. You could still predict. Like, you just fill
You
them
bet
all
on
out now.
yourself. There ain't no Pete Rose rule in this.
Yeah, I mean, you just put $5
Hey,
in.
I guess I'm throwing for money.
I mean, you could throw that. That would get you 1 point.
I got four draw stuff to buy.
I predict Mark wins. I predict this wins. Roland wins.
I
Bob
predict myself to
wins.
lose in the championship. Get to the championship, throw it.
Yeah, and then if we have a tie in the very end, we'll just bring a bunch of dice, and we'll have like a roll off where you roll 10 dice, and whoever rolls the most pals
Okay, that's me sucking right
wins.
there.
Wins the
Do
money.
penalty kicks.
Yeah, we'll do penalty kicks.
I hope the playoffs, like the championship game, comes down to penalty kicks.
I guess who is your champion?
Oh,
I'd
we're
be
gonna pick
curious
champions right
who's
now.
your champion right now? Who's winning the
I
whole
have
thing?
I have most faith in Erica for that game with the sticky skins.
Yeah.
I still think Pitcock takes it in the hole. Like his team is designed well. The claws threaten to bash teams out so well. He's got the speed to keep up with the gutters. He's just overall stronger than Purple Haze, but strength wise, and he's got the necessary speed. I really think Pitcock takes it all the way.
Yeah. I think Necro is a great league team. I think they're probably one of the better league teams out there.
Really? I feel like they're
I think so. I think just well, I mean, as long as their positional stay healthy. The hard part is skilling up their wraiths is like hard. It's really hard. I think. Oh,
I think Mark's got it, actually.
I appreciate that, but I'm not so
No,
sure about that.
I think Mark is well positioned for a championship win, right? So he's got his match against Fluff to start, and because he beat him up after a draw, like he could get out of that match like healthy with extra SPP, start really just picking skills. What next opponent pick this, next opponent pick this.
if he wins that, then he plays either
The pathogens
the
or Pidcock.
pathogens or Pidcock.
Yeah.
Um,
That's gonna. I
Which
lost to both of
the
those
thing is,
teams
that's
this year.
his two worst matchups, but they're coming off of not easy games, you know.
Yeah, I lost to
Like
both the
one of
pathogens
them's
and
gonna
the
mess up
prowlers
the
this
other.
year. However, the pathogens I lost early in the season. I think if I had played him late in the season, that would have been a different story in our
yeah,
game.
I
I should
think.
check Brandon. Which side of the bracket are they on?
Yeah, yeah, that's right because Roland's number 3. So
So I would play the Cowboys or the Reapers then.
no,
How
because this is 1 versus 8. This is 3 7. So this is 2
two
1. So you would play this, which is 4 on right
five,
because this is the high side of the bracket. The,
four,
the
five.
1 seed gets the 4 5.
Yeah.
So the God, who do I think will win this? If Fluff wins that, then they play Pidcock. Man, I think Pidcock can win it. I think he's got the path to do it. I really do think he can.
He's probably the likely.
So
Cause like
if
this
I
is
had
the
to
thing, like Roland, if it wasn't for Pitcock's team, I think Roland would be um, my favorite here. But I think it's just like if Roland faces Pitcock, I mean, just the claw is just gonna just absolutely kill him.
Now here's what you could see happening, right? If Mark won, he'd play Pidcock. Mark and Pidcock fuck each other up. Then the championship is Roland versus Pidcock
which is a
with a fucked up Pidcock, and then Roland wins.
Yeah, I have it between Pitcock and Roland. I think they're gonna be a championship match.
so
Pidcock Roland.
I think I think the Purple Haze still has the better team. And the only reason I say that is because I think that he's got the two superstars. Unless somewhere in the playoffs those superstars get
Yeah.
outed, I think the Purple Haze takes it.
Yeah, I think the best chance of something like detrimental happening to Bob's team is during my match when I can remove their skills and hit them.
Right. That's the
You
best
guys
chance.
aren't going to take them down. I don't think that you have the skills on your players to really
I
handle
don't have enough hits if I had to play them to
them.
take out enough people.
I don't. Well, I mean, do you have tackle? You don't have
I do
tackle.
have
You don't
tackle.
have
Me,
no anyone
I have
who's
tackle. I have a lot of tackle.
he's got a lot of
I
tackle.
have
Yeah,
tackle. We all have tackle.
right. But I don't think so. Like the thing with Mark is he doesn't have the speed.
Right. I
Right?
don't
So
have
that's
speed.
where he's hurt. He's going to be one space out from him all the time
Hmm.
Sure.
and not get hit, even if there's tackle there.
Uh,
Sure, I mean, if he puts his gutter runner up there to get rocked, then whatever. But, if he keeps him away, he's probably not there. Fluff's team could
I
maybe
had
get
I
up
had a
there,
fine match against
but
Fluff.
Fluff's not getting past the second round. So it doesn't really
Most
matter.
annoying thing was just a strength four blitzing claw guy. That was what was annoying. Like
Yeah.
No, if I had to play Pitcock
that's just a gutter runner.
that team,
How did you
Like
do against Pidcock in the regular season, Fluff?
we drew.
A draw. Okay.
How did you and Bob do? Did you draw that game too?
Yeah, we drew. That was our last
Oh
one.
no, Bob wasn't in your side. Never mind. So you haven't played Bob this season.
Fluffy
I
hasn't.
want to play Bob this season.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fluffy hasn't played Bob, but Alex played Bob. And I
Right.
think you guys got a draw, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had him on three guys at the end of the game, and I was just chasing him around, stalling for four turns, just so that I could take a guaranteed draw instead of risking anything. Just wanted to risk zero players going into playoffs,
Yeah. That
and
makes sense.
I hit his thrower four times with mighty blow.
Oh, oh God.
Didn't break the armor. I even threw a foul with a ghoul. The ghoul ran over and kicked him in the head.
Kicked him in the jimmies.
I think that's going to be the big thing is when he's like myself versus Mark or Brandon versus Bob. I think once we know it's over, I'm just going to foul the shit out of you, Mark. I'm going to foul every turn. Like,
If I ain't winning, neither are you, buddy. All right. So
This
that's
ought to be a
our
fun game.
yeah.
As soon as the losing player realizes it's done, they go, "Oh, oh."
Foul time.
Yep.
You're
yeah, so
like,
that's
Turn
what
16 foul.
Yep.
"There's no free games in Blood Bowl."
I got turned 16 foul just in
Yeah,
mine.
if you're winning at turn 16, I'm fouling the heck out of somebody on the ground.
Yeah.
This time.
Uh, so
yeah. That's exactly what I'm
um,
too.
looking at just a couple of announcements things. So we've obviously been talking about probably doing sevens. Don't know if it'll have a draft or not, or just be open play. We haven't talked about that. So probably this week I'm going to draft some rules for you guys to review. We'll have to get together and chat about them so we can preview those up. Um, Cookout wise, depends on how playoffs go, but ideally we can finish playoffs in August and then have the cookout kind of as like a kickoff. Maybe we can even have like a kickoff seven/cookout on in early September or so. Um, and then everybody could hang out, eat their food at whether we go to Twisted Track or whatever. We'll do the presentation. Everybody sit down and play maybe their first round of sevens or something like that, and peace out after that. The other thing I wanted to announce, so Beanstalk Bowl is coming up. There is a few of us going, so if you're interested in going to Beanstalk, it's in 3 weeks, I think. Um, then let me know. We are playing with giants, so get your giant. There's maybe a giant I'm gonna use. I don't know. I'm gonna cut his club off and drill it out. So we'll see how that goes. Um, The other thing is Big Lick. I'm pretty sure. So Big Lick, I'm going to do four-person squads this year. I'm going to cap it at 20 teams, I think, so 80 people max. So 20 squads of four people. Right now, I'm eyeing April 6th as the date. And then as kind of our get together, I wanted to do something a little different. I'm going to see about getting group rate tickets for the Rail Yard Dogs, and maybe we can all go watch some hockey on Friday night. Whoever wants to show up, I can get like maybe see about getting a whole section or something. I'll maybe just have like a little extra add on to your package. I haven't got the gold amount figured out exactly yet, but what I thought about doing was to kind of collaborate the team building, getting one combined pot of money, requiring at least, a million gold to be spent, no more than, 1 point X. But then say, here's say 4,500 gold divided amongst your four people however you like. And everybody can get the same amount. Maybe you could work with your rosters to be like, oh, I only need 1120, so you can have my extra 30 and so on. Um, I don't know if I want to do quite that yet, but I'm going to do four people this time. I think four is easier than three. It's definitely going to be a little harder than two, but I think it'll be more fun in the end. I think the team aspect, and people can get shirts and gifts and everything like they did before, will be really fun. And then it's more trophies. So yay!
You're gonna have to have a 1, a 2, a 3, and a 4 point team.
Maybe.
I did like the fact about the medals where you did the best
Yeah, I'll do
underdog,
the medals
best
again. I plan to do the medals.
season.
I'll do the trophies. Um, I also think I'm going to do kind of what ACCC did. If I end up playing at a place that has, um, the regular rectangular tables, getting pieces of plywood cut to put on top
Yeah,
of them so
make
that
it
I
wider.
only use one table per and it's exactly the length of
Just
the
a double
table.
table, just like
Yeah, so I'll get rid of the double tables. One, because it allows me to have more people in the venue.
Yeah,
If I
nothing like if you're sharing dice. Just go. All right, I'd like to share dice with you.
let me
Here you
come get
go.
it. Yeah, I know there was some complaints, but so I might. The question is whether that goes into the swag. I might need to, for 1 year, use some of, kind of take away some swag. I mean, we all got a lot of dice anyway, but maybe see about taking out some swag to buy like 50 fucking sheets of plywood, or I
yeah.
guess I would need 40 sheets, I guess. But
Get that like one person who's like,
it's
oh, I want that
400
same
bucks of
plywood
plywood or
in
something,
the
Yeah.
swag.
Well, we'll see. I mean, I do want to, well, I guess, what do you guys think about bringing back the scoreboard? I know a lot of you guys were there for that.
I wasn't there for that, but I like the
What
scoreboard
scoreboard?
idea.
Are you talking about the one that was
The wood one?
the little wooden one?
Yeah.
I like that. That mine got broke. I wish I had
You
another
got
one.
broke, so you want
Yeah,
another one.
I need another one.
Yeah, so I
I mean, I
think,
could put mine back together with glue, but it's I
yeah.
just haven't.
Yeah, so maybe another one, updated logo, all that good stuff. So I thought about bringing that back. I don't know. I'll think of some stuff. I also want to do patches. I want to do a 5 year patch. I know this is going to be our 6th year running Big Lick, so a lot of people will hit their 5 year or have already hit their 5 year. So I may order some 5 year anniversary patches and deal those out to people who
We make 5 years.
who've made 5 years, and then we'll do it again when
Is
10
that a
comes
5
around.
year continuous or just 5 years
Just
attended?
5 years attended, so that'll be good. All right. Well, that is it. I guess that is our kind of special playoff preview. So appreciate you guys joining. Good luck to everybody in the playoffs. Try and get your games done before the end of August because we don't want to pay another tour play fee of $12 or
I'll get
whatever
with
it
you
is.
later, Fluff, on our time frame.
So,
Sounds good, Mark.
all right, guys. Well, good luck, everybody. Have fun. See you guys.